Shalom, my people, shalom. Hey, I know it seems like it's been a minute or been a while, but I've been doing some research and studying and reading to bring y'all new information, to enlighten y'all on what's going on around the world. Plus, I've been looking at the different stuff that's been going on, during the campaign. I got some information on that too. So I just been really doing a lot of searching and a lot of research, because we need it right now. We need information, we need help, because the path that we're going on is not a good path. But what I've been doing, I've been reading. I done read this book called Fire This Time. Very nice book. Very nice. But I read this book. Very interesting. A lot of information there. Most about us. Sometimes you have to go outside the Bible, because you got Bible scholars that read and write books. But I can confirm whatever they read with the Bible. See what I'm saying? I don't just read a book. I can confirm whatever I read in the book. I can confirm it in the Bible. And that was a very good book. And I read this book here too. This is a very good book too. Enter Egypt again with ships. Everybody has seen that picture there. Enter Egypt. I want you to pay close attention to that picture, because it's going to mean something in a minute when I break it down to you. If you go to Deuteronomy 28:68, it tell you how the so-called Negroes came back to the North America for slavery. It predicts. The Bible is about us. It's about the Hebrew Israelites. Whether you want to believe it or not, I know Christianity has kind of blocked that mind a little bit, but I go by the Bible. And this guy, he wrote a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. The same guy. Very good book. Very good book. Very good. And you need to read that book too. Yeah, it's okay to it's nothing to be ashamed of to read. You don't have to be in the street all the time, 24/7. You can still read and learn some stuff. It's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's okay to read, because that's how you brighten your horizon, brighten your knowledge. Now this is what I'm reading, called Valley of the Dry Bones. Ezekiel also talked about the Valley of the Dry Bones. What he's talking about is just us. Ezekiel he was talking about us, the so-called Israelites, because right now we just bone with no meat on it, because we done lost our way from the law, statutes, and commandments. And it's a couple things I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over something in this book right here, y'all. I want you to listen to this. I'm gonna go over something in this book that is profound. It's profound. It's amazing. Back in 1870, the same exact thing that we're going through with the election, with Donald Trump want to recount the votes, and how Florida is the ones that be liking and votes, and always be something going on in 1870. I'm going to show it to you. But first, I want to get through some stuff, because they've been lying to us. And the church ain't going to teach you this. The church isn't going to, it just point blank, church ain't going to teach it to you. And I don't know how else to tell you, but the church is not going to teach you this stuff, because they got to make their money. And until you realize they got to make their money, you're done. And they got to get their money in. They don't care about us, because they did. It's funny how everybody claims to be a Christian but don't do nothing the Bible says. Oh, I'm a Christian, I love God, but God said don't eat crab. Oh, I'm a Christian, I love it, but God said don't eat shrimp. Oh, I'm a Christian, but God said don't eat lobster. Oh, I'm a Christian, but God said don't eat clam. See, God said only eat things that have scales and fins on them. God said don't eat no catfish, no dolphins, no none of that stuff. But guess what? And the people who do eat it, they the one they got cholesterol problem, high blood pressure, they got having strokes, they having to get their foot amputated, they get cut, their foot don't heal, they start rotting inside out. Now you know they ain't doing love, because see, when God tell you something, if you don't do it, you're gonna pay the price for it. You might get away with it when you're young, but by the time you get to your 40 and 50, your body start breaking down, because you don't did everything God told you not to. And guess what? Some of it is ignorant, because you don't read the Bible. A lot of people get the Bible, put it in the back of their car, open it up, or put it in, have it on the living room in the middle of the table, have a dollar in it, but never read it. That's crazy. Never read it. But anyway, I don't want to get into all that, but this is what I'm saying. You got to start reading for yourself. I got a little library going. I'm reading, and I enjoy it. And this stuff tell you, a book called Color Law right there. They tell you how they put you in certain neighborhoods, and you can't get out. They put you right here because they cow you like cows. So they set you to go. It's very interesting. But let me get to it. Hey, people, check this out. Check this out, people. Check this out. Okay. Egypt and Africa. if you remember reading the Bible in Matthew, when Joseph and Mary, remember Mary was pregnant with Jesus. I mean, yeah, with Jesus, so-called Jesus, because that's not his real name, but that's what you know him by. So I say so-called Jesus. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh. That's his name, YH. But anyway, what you got to understand that when Herod was gonna kill him, he told him to go to Canaan. That's in Africa. See, what they did was, because the people who over there in Israel and Jerusalem now, they got you saying Middle East, but there's no such thing as the Middle East. It was always called Jerusalem, even though that's the north side of Africa. Jerusalem is the north side. They're the same continent. But what they did was, the name of that canal that separate Israel from Africa. You know that canal that separate Israel from Africa. So that's where they're able to say, oh, this the Middle East, and oh, this Africa. Let me break this down to you. The name of the record is called Suez Canal. Suez Canal. Separate Israel from Africa. The continent of Northeast Africa. It separates it. It separates it. So what they did was, they separated. So now people think that when I say I come from Egypt and Israel, they don't understand where we came from. They keep thinking you come from Africa. Yes, you come from Africa. That is part of Africa. Israel is Northeast Africa. And when you start getting to the other part of Africa, you get to West Africa, which is in the book of, I'm giving it to you slow, which is in the book of Babylon the Timbuktu, how we was running from the Roman prosecution in 65 AD. We ran to West Africa and we blend in. And that's how the Africans start selling us to the different slave tribes. But if you remember when God came to Joseph in a dream and told him to take Mary and the unborn child, they went to Canaan. They went to West Africa. And then they stayed over there for a while because they can blend in. They were looking for them, but they couldn't tell because we blend in with Africa. We look alike, but we not the same people. But we look alike, so we was able to blend in with them. The same way David and Mary did, they blend in. The same way we did when they rushed us, when the Roman prosecution came along and kicked us out of Jerusalem. We went to West Africa. That's why you are who your father is. Because we started sleeping with their women. But if you Israelite, your baby is an Israelite. If you white, your baby is white. If you're a white man, you go with a black woman, you got a baby, that baby is a white baby. If you got a Chinese man, he go with a black woman, that baby is a Chinese. You are who your father is, not who your mother is. You are of the seed. You are the seed. You are the seed. That's who you are. You are the seed of the father, not the seed of the mother. So what they did was they split that river that come through there. It's a canal that come through there. They split it off and they called it. Now you think Jerusalem is not a part of Africa, but it is. It's on the same continent. They just playing tricks with us because they know we won't study, we won't read. So we get all confused. And guess what? Your pastor won't break it down for you can get this quite understanding. You need the understanding to go. The Ethiopian man said, how can I learn? Now let somebody teach me. I'm here to teach you people. I don't charge you no money. I don't get here and tell you about prosperity. I don't get here and tell you all these false things because God said the minute you're born, grief starts. So if you get in your head that you're going to have grief, you won't be so, when it hits you, you won't be so sharp. It won't sit you back. God said when you born in grief. People check this out, okay? Check it. And that's what they did. See, the land was originally called the land of the people who lived in the land. Africa was called Ham, the Hamites, which is Noah had 3 sons. Japheth, which is Russia, Europe, that's Japheth. That's all of them people. Israel, from the tribe of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That land is called Israel because it's named after you. You are the 12 tribes of Israel. See, the land was named, you had like the Ammonites The land of the Ammonites, which is the so-called Japanese. The land of the Moabites, which is so-called Chinese. So you got the hand of the Canaanites, which is like the Africans. Ham is Ham. The oldest son of Ham had a son. Ham begat Cush, which is Ethiopian. Everybody know about Cush. Ethiopian. Mazarine, which is Egypt and Canaan, Libya. See, they were named after Puta. They were named after the people. But when United States of America and other countries went over there and invaded and they, what the Bible says, they named the land after their own, after they conquered it. So you got to go back and do your research and find out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But check this out. That's enough on that. The Hebrew Israelite presidents, God told us not to be voting. You heard what I said? Not to vote. You have a king. You supposed to not to vote. Because guess what? I don't care how old you are in this world. Ain't nothing changed since you was born. You a slave then, you a slave now. Only thing you are now, you just a slave with a 50-foot change. You able to have a nice job, you able to have a nice car. You still a slave because you still living in this land. You ain't gonna get liberty till the Most High come back. Why in the world are you on TV crying, saying we got liberty? God gonna get you. God gonna get you. I know what I said. I said, God, please don't get me. Get them. I'm not crying. I know that this is still slavery. I know that you told me that a white man ain't gonna be my slavery. I know you told me that. Cause Esau, because they don't read the Bible, so you don't know who Esau is. You don't know Esau, the so-called Edomites, which is so-called white people today. Galatians 4:6, there's no end to all the people. So the same people that was back then, the same people here. So you don't know this. But I'm begging, I'm talking to you. I'm just giving you the information. Up to you, do your own research. Go to Deuteronomy 17:15 and read it to your congregation. This is what the Most High said. Deuteronomy 17:15. Thou shalt in any wise set a king. Oh, you gotta remember, the Bible, this Deuteronomy. You are the people that came out of Egypt, out of slavery in the mountains. You are the people. Check this out. Thou shalt in any wise set a king over thee, whom the Lord that God shall choose. God gonna choose your king. God gonna choose your president. But check this out. One from among thy brethren. We supposed to pick a king that look like us. Everybody got a king or a president that look like them. China president look like China. Korean president look like a Korean. Hawaiian president look like a Hawaiian. Why everybody king president look like them except us? Our president look like our oppressor. And here we are crying on national TV for some white people that gonna be they still your oppressor. God is a jealous God. And he hate that. He said, check this out. Thou may not set a stranger. Oh, they are strangers to us because they're not of the 12 tribes. I beg you, pastors, to get on board and start teaching your constituents the truth. Why are you lying to these people? Why you got these people out here selling their soul? God gonna be angry because he's a jealous God. And you praising these people like they're gonna save you. They not. And I'm gonna prove it to you from 1870 here to 2020, and they did the same exact thing. They got us, we are in their pond. They playing us like yo-yos. And we falling behind. You better learn to understand that God is your only way out. God is your only way out. We cannot defeat them because God promised them the fat of the land. Ask your pastor these questions. Why you won't ask your pastor this question? You ask him about any other foolishness. But when it comes down to your soul, you don't ask. Maybe you don't care. Maybe I'm just talking out my nose, but I don't care one person. I don't care nobody. I go back and I listen to my own videos. I edify my own self through my own videos. But check this out. I want to get you to understand this. God say, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. They're not our brother because we are all the 12 tribes of Israel. Everybody got their own president. We don't have our president. Barack Obama was not your president because he was from Ham. He's a Hamite, not a Shemite. We are Shemite. We are from the tribe of Israel. They know they different from us. They know they Africans are different from us, but they keep want to make you call yourself an African. How can you call yourself after two white people African American? They done made you all kind of, God said we shall be a byword. We byword because guess what? We were called after Afro, but what if I ain't got no hair? So that means that ain't my name? We were called after Afro. What if you're a woman with no hair? What if you're a woman what if you're a woman that all your hair? What if you're a man like me who don't have no hair on their head? What am I? If all niggas were born on an airplane, you'll be called Northwestern. And you will accept that. Jesse Jackson called you African American in 1984 when you were running for president. You done been, your ancestors done been niggers, they done been coons, they done been all kind of names. Afro-American, blacks. Where can I go to the airport and buy me a ticket and go to the land of blacks? I want you to take your butt to the airport and say, hey, I want to go to black. Them people gonna lock you up because they know you don't exist. African, long as you keep calling yourself black and African American, you telling them that I'm still a slave because I'm mentally dumb. The man in this book called us stupid. He said we still worshiping our oppressor, like I've been telling you. They put them in our stove. How in the world can the Chinese come in here and put a store in the middle of an all black neighborhood? How in the world can a Korean come in here and put an all Korean store in an all black neighborhood? How in the world can an Arab come in your neighborhood and put an all Arab store with no niggas working in there, no blacks, no niggas working in the store? And guess what? We are the employer. They are the employee. Because we pay them. We pay them to get their big old house. We pay them to send their kids to college. But they drive their raggedy car up there to the job. But when they go home, they get in a Lexus. They get in Toyotas. They get in fancy cars. Mercedes, BMWs, Audis. But they drive their raggedy car up there. That don't register? Or we just so dumb and docile that we don't even give a damn? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're going to take God to come down here. Because sometimes I get so mad I want to cry. I said, we so ignorant. Because we don't care. I don't think we care. And then the ones that done thought they made it, they so blind because they only care about what they got in their hand. Let them lose that and see how they feel. Because right now, they not living on God, I can tell you right now. I promise I can tell you right now, all the people you see in that church, oh, praise the Lord, they have nothing to do with God. Because Christianity don't believe nothing the Bible say because they did its law, statute, and commandments in it, and they don't go by. And the number one reason I can tell you, because the Sabbath is on a Saturday, and guess what? Sunday, they worship the sun god. That's why they changed it. We don't look up history. We don't know. That's why you get Sunday. They talking about sun, like the sun. You worship for sun god when you go to church. So you breaking all the commandments already. Why do you think women come in church with a manly spirit? Because they wear pants. You wear pants in church now. So you got this manly spirit. So we don't, the Christian church do nothing God say. And then if you bring it up to them, they say you treat the hate, but God hated. Why they ain't never told you how God told Joseph to go there and kill all them people? Kill the babies, kill the animals, kill the bull, kill the buffalo, kill the women, kill the men. Don't leave no man standing. Why they won't tell you that? So, but God love. Oh, God love. But why they don't tell you what God told Joshua to do? Why they don't tell you what God told Joshua to do? Why they don't tell you what Gideon did? Why you don't tell you God gave Gideon the strength to destroy all them people? Why you ain't saying that? Why you keep trying to say God this weak God? God coming back with destruction. God said it's going to be blood to the horse's brow. Who blood you think he going to be? You think he's just killing goats? You sitting around here believing what they tell you? It's a lie. But I'm here to give you the truth. Check this out. Ecclesiastes 4:16. There's no end to all the people. No end to all the people. So the same people back then, the same people now. Deuteronomy 21:23. I want you to see this here. I'm going to get to this right quick. I'm going to get to it. I got to check this out. God was not, Yahweh was not hung on a cross. Listen to what I tell you. He was not hung on a cross, people. He was hung in a tree by a rope. Not a cross, but by a rope hung on a tree. Now check this out. His body shall not remain all night upon the tree. He was hung on a tree Deuteronomy 21:23. I'm going to show you a couple more scriptures. Galatians 3:13. Curses everyone that hang on the tree. Who do they hang on trees? Galatians 3:13. Curse is everyone that hangeth on a tree. Who they hang on the tree? We are the sons of God. They treat us just like they were treating God. They beat him across his back and busted it up. Look at this man. This is how they did Jesus. They beat him with cat and nine tails till his skin was off his back. They treat us the same way because you are of the same stock. You are the same stock. And they beat him like that. Look at this. Look at this. That's how they beat him. They beat us the same. They hung him on a tree. But they've been telling you a cross because guess what? They don't want you to get this distinction between us and Jesus. So-called. Curses thee that hangeth on a tree. They hung Jesus on a tree, not a cross. That's why God said, don't wear graven images. Why you wearing that cross on your neck? Jesus died in a tree because they have blanket your mind. But they'll never teach you that. I'm going to give it to you. What? Acts 5:29-30. Acts 5:29. You go back and do research on yourself. I'm giving you scriptures. Who ye slew and hanged on a tree. Why is your pastor telling you that they hung Jesus on a tree? The same way they hanging us on trees. They've been hanging us since we got over here. They didn't want you to bring a distinction between the two. So they told you a cross, and of course Niggos believed it. Niggos believed it. But they hung him on a tree. They lied to us. You got to start studying people you want to survive. It's embarrassing to be on that TV crying, thinking white folk gonna save you. Jesus finna send you into another slavery. I'm finna prove it to you. He gonna send you into another slavery. It's gonna be worse than it was. Because it's gonna be mentally now. Because right now they already got your mind. Because you think Biden is your superhero. These people are praising Biden. They're praising this man. 1 Peter 2:21-24. 1 Peter chapter 2:21-24. Who his own self bare our sin in his own body on the tree. On the tree. They hung our Yahushua. They hung our Jesus, so-called, on a tree, not a cross. Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed it, Jesus. When they found him, he was hanging on a tree with his bowels cut. So somebody had to kill this man because you can't cut your bowels over and hang yourself at the same time. Why are they breaking this down to us? Because they read the Bible and just read anything to you and we accept everything they read. Isaiah 28:9-11. Who shall, this is what he said. Who shall teach knowledge? Who shall he make to understand doctrine? That's the Bible. Them that are weaned from the milk. Them that are weaned from the milk and draw from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon here, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's how you got to read the Bible. That's how I went from scripture to scriptures. Them precept is the Bible. Line is the line. So I read this prescript and they say, go to here, you get better understanding. Go to here, you get better. It breaks it all down. But they never taught us how to read Bible. Because they go in there and read the story and get off the thing and make you jump in for like a fool. Deuteronomy 32:6. I said I would scatter them into the corners. I will make them remember of them to cease from among men. We don't know who we are. We ceasing from among men. We just on corners. We on street corners. They don't know who you is. They don't know you the child. They don't know you the child of God. We don't know nothing. We just a bunch of fools on the corner. You can see the Bible talking about us. Who be on the corners? Ain't no white folks hanging on no corner. Ain't no Chinese hanging on no corner. Ain't no African hanging on no corner. Ain't no Japanese hanging on. We the only ones hanging on corners. Ain't none of them people hanging on corners. We the only one hanging on corners. Here it go. Deuteronomy 28:64. Thou shalt not serve other God, neither thou nor their father known even wood and stone. You can't, we serving God our forefathers didn't even know. They ain't nobody know Jesus on the cross because they was there. You got to remember, they was there. They were there when they hung Jesus on a tree. So-called Jesus on the tree. They were there. They don't know nothing about no wooden cross, no crucifix. Because those people like, they came out, what they talking about? Because they was there. They know how they hung him. They know they hung him on a tree. That's why they didn't want us to know it, because it relates to that. They know what they were. If they find out God said curse everybody that hang us on the tree, because we getting killed on the tree, they hang us. They still hang. What about the boy that a dude just showed me? They just found a young boy. He's like about 14, 15 years. They done hung the man. Two white people, a son and a mother, when they picked him up from school, they gave supposed to be friends. They went out there and hung the man and beat. He was like Emmett Till. So they still hanging you. They were hanging people when they were doing the riot. When they had the riot, when Floyd got killed, they were hanging. So they don't want you to relate. I'm just showing people. I'm just telling you. But check this out. That was it on that. But I'm going to get to something right here. I want you to listen to him. Listen to him. Election sellout. 1877. Okay. According to the final Republican count, I don't want to read the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and read this part. The two principal candidates in the national election of 1876 were Samuel Tilden, New York Democrat, Ruth Ford Hayes, Republican from Ohio. You got to remember now, the Republicans was the Democrats, and the Democrats was the Republicans. So it switched it around. So really right now today, the Democrats was the Republican back then. The Republican was the Democrat. This is 1876. Two main public issues. Militate against the Republican Party were the economic crisis in 1873, the graft scandal. In spite of this, the Republicans stressed insurrection of the Democrat during the war. In their terror through Reconstruction period, the Democrat campaigned for full anonymity of the South. This meant the restoration of complete power to the plantation owner and their descendants. See what had happened back when Abraham Lincoln died, they took all the land and gave it back. They were going to give it back to people who they stole it from. The slaves put to that was your 40 acres of the mules put to came from. They put to give all you land back from the war. All the people that was fought against Abraham Lincoln, they put them been prosecuted. Well, okay, the Democratic Party was the one that had you in slavery. The Democratic Party back in 1876 was the one who had you in slavery. The Republican Party was the one who tried to help you get free. Check this out. According to the final Republican count, Hayes received 768,000 votes. Tilden, he received 285,992. With the plurality for the Democrat Titan of 252,224 popular votes. Now, when the electoral was counted, Titan received 203 against Hayden, which was 166. Florida, no doubt, there was a widespread fraud in the South. They still doing that right now. Here they just want to recount, and here in 1876, they wanted to recount, and Florida was the one that doing all the fault like they're doing now, cheating. Check this out. Guess what they said the reason was? Mechanism of terror employed to keep the blacks away from the polls. The Republican challenge left the undisputed votes of 184 for Tilden and 167 for Hayes. There was one vote lacking for Tilden to be an electoral college, leaving the result in 4 states in disputes. In order to resolve this critical problem, Congress formed a federal commission consisting of 5 senators, 5 congressmen, 5 Supreme Court, what Donald Trump is trying to do right now. They using us for a pawn, people. This is 1876 in the same exact thing. Check this out. I've been telling people Trump ain't coming out here. Trump got his own military, and this man ain't coming out. Check this out. And I'm signing off. Check this out. Check this out. On the commission were 7 Democrats and 8 Republicans. Remember, the Democrats wanted to keep you in slavery. The Republicans are the one that tried to help you get free. Remember that. The Democrats are the ones that try to help you in slavery. The Republicans are the ones trying to get you free. They switched it over after the 1870s. Now you got the Democrats. Check this out. You check this out. Check this out. The commissioner counted, recounted, and questioned the return from the disputed states. The crisis dragged on for 3 months. The excitement, tension, and suspense got high. The Democratic filibuster. Remember now, the Democrats were had you in slavery back then. The Democratic filibuster in Congress in order to interrupt the orderly count. This is what they doing now. Gotta remember now, them Republicans that you see now were once Democrats. And the Democrats that you see now were once Republicans. I'm gonna keep emphasizing that. Check this out. Some Democrats call for an army of 100,000, an army, to march on Washington to install Tillman into office. That's what Donald Trump them about to do. They using us for a pawn. Why you think Donald Trump built that wall around the White House? This is 1876, folks. Now check this out. This is what the black folks doing to other black folks right now. Check this out. They were, okay. There were other Democrats who thought that if they could delay things until inauguration, the nation will be without president on the verge of another civil war. That's why I told you, you ask them guys on the job. I said they're going to have a civil war. That's called Trump going to have his soldiers. Certain amount of soldiers are given to the president. Trump going to have his soldiers. It's going to come down that Trump ain't going to want to come out here. They already said they're going to have a force to go get him out. I'm just read to you what happened in 1876. Check this out. I'm trying to find it. Republican Party. Now remember the Republican Party now, there was the one that tried to help you get free back then. Republican Party, blacks were zealous, dedicated to the Republicans. They voted the Republican ticket with a religious fever. They voted for them. The same way we vote for Democrats with a religion. Y'all die for the Democrats. You die for the Democrats. They voted the Republican ticket with a religious Mr. Bennett and Mr. Foster tell us that any blacks in those days who voted for the Democratic ticket were treated like traitors. That's the same thing they do to you today. If you don't vote for the Democrat, black people will call you a traitor. This is, they say if you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to fall in the future. The same way they treat you, you tell them you don't vote. You tell them that the Lord is your vote. They will demonize you. This is a pawn they got us in, but we so blind we can't see. This the same exact thing these people did in 1870. Here it go right now today, the same thing playing out. Shalom, my people. Shalom, I love you. I promise I do. I do us all I love. This is knowledge and understanding. The name of this book is called The Valley of the Dry Bone. If you want to get it, continue to read it. It's so good. It's so good. The Valley of the Dry Bone is the 12 tribes of Israel. And here they go. I just read you an account what happened in 1876 during the president, and the same thing is happening now. Because all they did was, you got to remember, just remember, make it easy. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And the other people was Thomas Jefferson, all them, and they were Democrats. And you remember, the Democrats the one who wanted to keep you in slavery. Right now, the Democrats have the niggas in slavery right now. These Democrats right now today have you in slavery right now today, because guess what? Now you're mentioning slavery. Because now you praising a man to be your savior. God gonna get you for that. Shalom, my people. Shalom, I love you. Shalom. Shalom.